I sat on the park bench with my coffee. A bird sang above me, and I thought, what a quiet morning. But then, I heard boots, real boots, big ones. He sat right next to me. Mud on his jeans, a smell of hay, and something that sounded like a chicken?
Morning.
Morning.
Nice day. No cows on the road.
No cows?
I just came from the farm. Tractor broke down. Again.
He wiped his hands on a big red handkerchief. I blinked twice. Are you lost?
No, I'm in the city. That's already a risk.
This bench is in the middle of downtown.
And still no grass. Poor cows.
I took a sip of my coffee and looked at his boots. You live on a farm?
Yep. Real animals, real problems, but real peace.
I live here, in the city. Real coffee, real traffic.
Do you know how to drive a tractor?
No. Do you know how to ride the subway?
Subway? That noisy snake under the ground. No thanks.
And yet you trust cows?
Cows don't beep, they don't push. They just chew.
They also poop. A lot.
You get used to the smell.
I get used to the traffic. We both laughed. My coffee was getting cold, but the moment was warm. What do you miss when you're in the city?
The silence, the fresh air, and my tractor, even broken.
I miss elevators when I visit the village and croissants.
You have croissants. I have chickens.
You win. He smiled and looked at the sky.
Want to try farm life for a day?
Only if you try city life.
Deal, but I'm not wearing skinny jeans.
We laughed again. The bench was still the same, but we weren't. Maybe the best part of life is when two different worlds sit down and talk. The next morning, he came to my apartment. He looked like a lost sheep, only taller, and in clean boots. Welcome to the city. No cows, but we do have elevators.
I'm already scared. This building is taller than my barn.
Let's start small. Coffee.
I had coffee this morning.
No, real coffee. City coffee.
What's wrong with my farm coffee?
It tastes like boiled boots. He followed me to the cafe. The smell of espresso hit him like a cow tail.
What is that smell?
Civilization, now order.
What do I say?
One flat white, please.
Flat white? I only know flat tires.
Just trust the barista. He's from Lviv. He knows magic.
I trust cows more than baristas.
He sat down and stared at people, typing, sipping, rushing.
Why is everyone so fast?
Welcome to the city.
Nobody says hello. Nobody chews slowly.
That's because they're late. Always late. His coffee arrived. He took a sip. His face froze.
What? What is this?
You're flat white.
It's like milk with attitude.
You don't like it?
I miss my tractor.
Later, we took the subway. The train roared in like a hungry dragon.
Nope.
Yep.
I changed my mind.
Get in, cowboy. Inside the subway, he held the metal pole like it was a wild horse.
Why is it shaking?
Because it's alive.
I want my cow back.
When we came out, he looked pale.
Your city is fast, noisy, and full of elbows.
That's why we drink so much coffee.
I need a walk, a slow walk, without honking.
Then maybe. It's time to see my world. We got off the bus near a field. It smelled like grass, sunshine, and something that was definitely not city air. So, this is it?
This is it. The farm. Home of cows, chickens, and peace.
I stepped onto the dirt road. My shoes were not ready for this. Neither was my nose. What is that smell?
That, my friend, is fresh air.
Fresh? It smells like feet and fertilizer.
That's nature's perfume.
We passed a group of chickens. One stared at me with judgment. That chicken looked into my soul.
Her name is Olga. She's dramatic.
I believe that. He handed me boots.
Put these on.
They look like they ate another pair of boots.
They're not for fashion. They're for survival.
I put them on. They were heavy. They made me walk like a robot in mud. My feet feel like tanks.
Good. Now we feed the animals.
The cows were large, too large. One licked my elbow. Did she just kiss me?
That means she likes you.
I didn't agree to this relationship. We filled buckets. We carried hay. My arms forgot they had muscles. This is cardio, with cows.
And free vitamin D.
I need coffee. Strong coffee. He laughed and pointed to a small wooden bench.
That's our cafe. No Wi-Fi, just wine.
And probably bugs. We sat. The sun was warm. The air was quiet. My heart slowed down. It's peaceful.
I told you.
I didn't believe you, but now I do. I looked at the sky, big, blue, and so close. This place is slower.
Slower, but fuller.
I still miss croissants.
And I still miss sidewalks.
We smiled. Our shoes were dirty, but we felt clean. Inside. The next morning, we sat on the same bench near the barn. The sky was a soft shade of orange. My hair smelled like hay. His jeans were already muddy.
You know, you survived the farm better than I thought you would.
Well, I didn't exactly win any Farm Girl of the Year award, but I didn't run away either. He handed me a notebook. The pages were blank, but the cover said plans and cows.
Let's make a list.
A shopping list?
No, a life list. The best things from both worlds.
I smiled. That sounded like a challenge and a therapy session in one. Okay, let's start with farm life. What do you want to keep forever?
The silence, the fresh air, the feeling that time isn't chasing you every second.
And the chickens, of course. Let's not forget Olga the judge. He laughed, then looked thoughtful.
I also love waking up with the sun, not because an alarm screams at me, but because light comes in slowly, kindly.
That actually sounds beautiful. In the city, my alarm is louder than my thoughts. I wrote down, sunrise, fresh air, no rush, animals with opinions. Now it's my turn. City things worth saving.
Be kind.
I'll try. I tapped my pen. I love how many people you can meet in one morning. People from everywhere, speaking different languages. That kind of energy.
Yes, the farm has chickens, but not much diversity.
I also love bookstores, cafes with bad jazz music, and the smell of roasted coffee beans.
I admit, your city coffee did wake me up, in fear.
I wrote down, people, books, coffee, culture, weird jazz.
Let's combine it.
You mean a farm with espresso and poetry nights?
Why not? Chickens can be art lovers too.
We sat for a while, both looking at our mix of words. It was strange, funny, and somehow perfect. Maybe we don't have to choose. Maybe we can visit both lives.
Like tourists in each other's world.
Exactly, with proper shoes, of course.
Next time I'll wear skinny jeans.
And I'll bring boots. Real boots. The list fluttered in the breeze. It wasn't finished, but it felt right. A few days later, we met again, on the same park bench where this all began. I had a cup of city coffee in my hand, and he had a sandwich that smelled like home.
I have to admit something.
Please tell me you finally like flat white.
No, not really, but I do miss your city a little.
And I miss your chickens, especially the dramatic one. We both laughed. It was easy now, like old friends who knew each other's worlds by heart.
I went to the bookstore yesterday.
Really? Voluntarily?
I didn't read much, but I liked the smell of the books. It reminded me of hay, only cleaner.
I smiled and handed him a small package. It's coffee, real coffee, from that cafe you survived.
Do I need to sign a waiver before drinking it?
Just add milk and keep your eyes open. It might inspire you to write poetry.
Or write a complaint.
We sat quietly for a moment. The street was busy, people rushed by. But on that bench, time slowed again. You know, I realized something important this week.
That you can milk a cow without crying?
That too, but mostly that sometimes stepping into someone else's life can help you see your own more clearly. He looked at me and nodded slowly, with a thoughtful smile.
I used to think the farm was the only place with real peace. But maybe peace is also a quiet moment in the city with someone who listens.
I felt something warm in my chest. Maybe it was the coffee. Or maybe it was just connection. I'm going back to my noisy street today.
And I'm going back to my muddy boots.
But I'll take a little fresh air with me.
And I'll take a little jazz, if I survive it.
He stood up, brushing crumbs off his jeans. I stayed seated, finishing the last sip of my drink. See you soon?
You know where to find me. Just follow the smell of hay and the sound of chickens arguing.
He waved and walked off, slowly, like a man who wasn't in a rush to leave something good behind. I looked around. The city kept moving. But I stayed still for one more minute, just to feel it, to remember, to carry both worlds inside me.